What's up, guys? Belligerent here with another Bloodline video, and we just had a pretty significant update. Update? What the is an update? Update to the game that included several different new features, including a Guild Wars thing, which we'll talk about later after we have a little bit more experience. But the one that everybody's asking me about is the new Guardian Stone. So let's take a look. This is going to be a quick video. I don't think there's a lot to it, but we'll discuss it. We'll go through it, just kind of give people an overview. So basically what this is it is a way for you to increase stats for an entire class. So you could almost think of this like traits that you're putting on the entire class. Now, they're not as diverse as some of the other traits. So let's look at the different categories that we have. There's 6 different categories. So you have Constitution, that is health. You have Strength, that's strength, which is the most influential stat in the game. Almost everything watch my trait videos if you don't already know. Almost everything in the game is influenced by strength. We have Fortitude, which is your armor. And then we have some ones that you probably may not have paid any attention to. It's on your stat page, but there's not really there's no traits that affect it. Gear sets affect it a little bit. But then so one of those is dodge rate, and the other one is hit rate. So I'm going to think of this as, like, if you're thinking in terms of other games you might have played, dodge rate is probably like your evasion. Hit rate is like your accuracy, okay? And then the 6th one is going to be total damage reduction, right? So total damage reduction is like honorable. It's the one that comes after all of the modifiers. So again, Constitution, Strength, Fortitude, the 2 that are unique, dodge and hit rate, which don't really have traits that affect those. Okay, so how do you do this? Well, you use medals to level them up. Okay, if we look at this shows you, so for level 1, you're going to need 50 green medals. I believe their green ones are bronze. And then 150 for level 2, 300 for level 3. And then when you get to level 4, you need the blue ones, which I believe are silver medals, even though they're blue. 400 for level 4, 500 for 5, 600 for 6. You can kind of see how those numbers are playing out. And then you need the gold medals for 7 to 10. Okay, now you can get some pretty significant buffs if you get all the way up. I do think it's going to take you probably quite a bit to get all of these medals, especially for every stat. But you look like if you reach level 10 strength, that's an additional 28%. That's pretty big. Like brutal at level 22, brutal is 45%, so that's huge. But an additional 28% strength on top of everything you already have, that's pretty big. So if we look, there's 4 different paths, they're calling them, to acquire medals. So the first one is the star path, and it's pretty much exactly what you were probably thinking about when you hear star. So basically, so it says here, the first one I have on my list says, become the Lionstone Clan #1 5-star male champion. I think that's poor translation, so let me try to translate it in a way you might understand. You need to make 1 5-star male Lionstone champion, okay? And then you need to make 1 11-star male Lionstone champion, okay? Same with the Karg, with the 4-star male, female, things like that. So you can go through the list and see which ones. Now, when you logged in after the update, you probably had a half an hour of seeing alerts that you're getting medals. That's just it completing everything you've already accomplished. So go through the list, figure out what you need to star up. Now, you shouldn't like derail your progress just to make these stars. But what I would say is, like, so when we're ascending, when you get up to like 11 stars, 12 stars, and you start needing for the 5-star fodder, just pay attention to what you're doing. Look at your list. If you have the choice between making a 5-star male Lionstone as your fodder or like a 5-star Sally Horn as your fodder, well, when you look at this list and you see, oh, I need a 5-star male Lionstone for some more medals, do that instead. I don't think it's probably not necessarily the greatest idea to kind of derail your progress or derail your ascension just to get these medals, okay? And then the rare path, that's just rarity. So you got to get an epic card, male card, epic male, or epic female card, legendary, Yivnian, male, so on and so forth. It's just, you're going to get medals for essentially collecting every rarity of every champion, okay? Again, you shouldn't necessarily do that and derail your progress, spend extra resources doing it. What I would say is when you start leveling up the intimacy on your champions, just breed an air of that rarity, right? And complete those. Kind of as you step them up. You'll get some others from the summons, stuff like that. Intimacy path, that's straightforward. You have to reach certain levels of intimacy with your companions, and the same thing with charm. So those paths to get your medals, pretty straightforward. You'll just kind of get them, I would say mostly get them as you just play the game, right? Again, don't derail your progress. Don't take a side road to get to where you're going just to try to complete some of these medals, okay? One thing that I do kind of want you to think about is don't overvalue these. Now, I'm not saying they're not valuable. Again, 28%, if you can reach level 10, 28% extra strength, that's valuable. The fact that it's to an entire class, I don't want you to overvalue that part. Why? Because how many of each class are you really running? So you're really, I would say, so if you're looking for kind of some guidance as to which ones you should focus on, probably not focus on the ones that you see focused on here on my screen. I just started putting stuff into the dodge path because I don't know why. Strength is probably the one that you want to focus on first, is your strength. And then as far as class, obviously look at your main composition that you're running. But I'm going to guess for most people, all your medals should be spent in your mage category first, because I'm going to guess most compositions are running more than one mage. You're probably running one tank, which is Lionstone. You're maybe running one warrior. I don't know who, because they're all kind of bad. Maybe Ugrel. You might be running a marksman, maybe male Tide. You're probably running an assassin, especially if you picked up female Devala during this Halloween event. If not, like male Yiv. So you're probably running one of those. But I'm going to guess like a lot of people are probably running multiple mages. You're probably running like a male Aeson, a female Ignis, either of the Fulgurs. There's a lot of people that like to run Lux. Like, there are so many influential mages in the meta. You should probably focus on your mage category first. I would personally say don't necessarily spread it out. Focus on one category at a time and focus on the one that's going to get you the biggest bang for your buck. And honestly, that's probably going to be the mage category. So let me know in the comments below what you think. I think that pretty much covers everything in the Guardian Stone. It's not that complicated of a thing, but I think a lot of people wanted an overview. They come in here, they look, they feel a little overwhelmed. It's really just adding stats to an entire class. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Let me know if you think this is a good addition to the game. Like, I want to hear some of that feedback. I can pass it on to some of the people that I talk to. Like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend. I'm Belligerent. Peace.